Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Grunts and Grumbles podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Vince.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Halloween hangover?
No.
Halloween Not at all? No sugar highs, no sugar rushes?
I mean, I left a pile of chocolate wrappers and candy wrappers on my table last night. I mean, it wasn't as big as it could have been.
It's hard not to, right? Because the colors grab me.
Well, it's there, and it's like, you know, as a kid, your kid mentality is you see your chocolate bars on the ground, or in the bowl, rather, and you're like, oh, man, remember when I filled up my pillowcases of chocolate bars? And you're like, now I'm an adult, I can just buy it. You're just eating all these.
Right. And I know you asked, it was on Facebook on your page last night. It's like,
oh, yeah.
Do they even make full-size candy bars anymore? I would love to know that market, because you think, like, the box of 90, if they were full-size, no one would buy them. But that box of 90 is such the guilty pleasure box.
Yeah, because you're like, I'll just have I'll have a quick little one. And one little one, and that's it.
Adds to like 20. Oh shit, I have 20 wrappers.
Yeah. You feel better about yourself if you eat 20 small ones than you do 20 big ones.
Right?
You know?
Yeah, 20 peanut butter cups is like horrendous if you bought 20 of them, but if you the 3-pack, but you get them in the box.
Exactly. No, it's true. It's just like, I don't know, it goes back to my whole theory of wanting to be a giant. I know you are, so this doesn't apply to you. But like, you know, when you go on airplanes and you get that small bottle of booze, you're like, I'm a fucking giant.
Right.
You know, and that's what it is with like, look how small this Kit Kat is in my hand. You know, I'm going to eat it all. I don't know. That's like a mentality I sort of feel like I get sometimes.
Yeah, that's welcome to the club.
Yeah. But I just want to be tall.
Yeah.
No, so I don't know. I think I did all right. I didn't go too crazy. Right. And, the problem is we bought a lot of candy.
Okay.
And we had 5 trick-or-treaters show up.
Wow.
And it's not like we didn't decorate the house. So like we put a bunch of stuff out. Yeah. You know, so it made it obvious that, that we left the light on. Right. The international rule for trick-or-treating
of course.
is if you're about to hand out candy, you leave the light on.
Yes.
You run out of candy, light goes off.
Yep.
That's the rule.
That was the standard even
That's
for
the
us.
rule, right? Like we didn't have a pumpkin, so I mean, it's either you have the porch light on,
or you're outside the whole night.
Yeah,
right.
Or you have a pumpkin,
right?
And it's lit up. If the pumpkin's blown out,
right,
we're out of candy.
Done. Yeah.
I didn't even get remotely.
Have you ever had that where you ran out of candy? Like any years like that?
No, I feel like trick or treating has really slowed down.
It has slowed down a lot. Like
parents are just really scared to get their kids out.
Even when you hear the stories of like kids, like when they're still doing it now, and like, oh yeah, the parents are going, yeah, it wasn't a big haul, or some do. So it depends where the neighborhoods are still, I guess. Some like, oh yeah, we had like 600 kids, and some like, yeah, we had like maybe 50.
Yeah, I wonder if it's more like a suburb to big city. So like, I don't know. I was talking to some friends, and they're out in the suburbs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got a ton of kids." Yeah. And like maybe if it's like smaller cities outside of Toronto, maybe down like the Oshawa,
right,
Pickering sort of, or Oakville.
Right.
Maybe that's like more people with kids or out there in the outskirts.
Maybe.
So
what was trick or treating like being a kid in Toronto? Because
it was great.
Like,
I went door to door. I wasn't into anything. I went street to streets. Okay. And then so I did like my neighborhood, and then I would come down to my grandma's neighborhood, and I would do a little trick or treating there too, and I would do like double neighborhood.
Okay.
It was great. I loved it.
Like, what if you like? Did you have any friends that like were like downtown ish more?
No, I was more like in the central west side of Toronto.
But friends that that if
I didn't have friends downtown. No, not like downtown.
Right, because like how would that work?
I would imagine the same. I don't know. If you live in a condo, built like you would go just like door to door in the condo. I don't know.
No, see the way they do it here, and they didn't do it this year. Was they just have a bowl out at the concierge? So you just
so what? The kids got to come down the elevator, and grab a bowl.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I don't know. It was it wasn't the same this year, obviously for obvious reasons.
Right,
and I was so excited to hand out candy.
Right,
and I just didn't.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people that usually have parties and stuff like that was more secluded, more bummed out. It feels like the tone was like,
I've seen a bunch of
we
parties.
could see somebody, or like we could have had the party this year. But people may do too, right? Like,
listen, I've seen some Instagram stories where some bars were open.
Oh yeah,
Halloween party. Of course they were, but they had patios, so they could do it. That's fine. Well, you could have looked if you wanted to go out. You could have looked. You could have done some research and
I didn't even have a costume this year.
I whipped one together real quick.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you saw my my nerd costume.
And the pants are just because you've lost weight?
No, because nerds wear suspenders.
No. But your pants look big on you.
Oh yeah, that's because I lost weight.
Okay.
I don't have pants, and that was the only pants of like a color I felt like should have been like I wasn't gonna put on my like black jeans and throw on suspenders and be like, there you go.
Right.
No, I was like, oh, let me find like the color, the beige of some sort.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I did it pretty good last minute.
Yeah, sometimes that's almost the better way to do it because like, shit, here's my closet. What could I pull off as a costume?
That's basically what I did.
Right.
I was like, you know what? I was gonna throw on like one of my horror movie T-shirts,
right,
and then just put like a
cover yourself in blood.
Like a blood or something. And then I was like, you know what? What's the easiest thing I have? I went nerd. I got the glasses, the suspenders, and I had everything, and I just did.
Beautiful.
It was easy.
That's awesome.
And I was pretty thrilled with it.
Yeah, like I said, we all try to make do this year. I think,
Next year, I'm hoping.
I think everyone goes balls out.
That the world. Oh yeah, but it's gonna be like Halloween's gonna be like on a Tuesday, or some stupid thing like that.
Hopefully, well, yeah. See, the only time it ever repeats is if the leap year is on that year. And then
I don't know what it is.
We have to wait 7 years.
Brutal. Anyway, so I watched a bunch of movies last night. Also,
okay.
I ended up finding out that Carolyn's never seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay.
So we watched it last night.
Awesome.
So good, man.
Yeah.
Cheech plays 3 fucking parts in that movie.
I know.
So like you see in the opening credits comes down and it says like Cheech was his name, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's gonna have like this huge part or whatever. And I forgot how many parts he had.
Right.
But
Right.
his first part was a border guard.
Yes.
And then you're like, and then you leave him and you're like, oh shit, that was it. That was his whole role.
Right.
Then he was the guy the doorman in the strip bar.
And then he's the meetup.
Yeah, the meetup at the end. No, it was really it was fun to watch again.
Yeah.
And then I watched a really good movie. I'm going to say the name wrong because I was saying the name wrong all night. It was The Vast. Oh, you know what? Let's not. I'm going to butcher it.
Who's in it?
Butcher it. Nobody.
Is it new?
It's new and it was really good.
Okay.
You know what? I'll tell you about it after.
Yeah. Look into it later.
Redundant to tell it on here and not
to tell it to go blah.
Anyway, it's just the camera, the camera work in that movie, and they had a lot of long scenes without cuts.
Okay.
It was phenomenal. Just beautiful to watch. The movie itself was like fast talking. It almost seemed like it could have been like an Aaron Sorkin sort of a thing.
Yeah, okay.
But it was just like 1950s. I don't want to talk too much about it, because I don't want to give it away, and I also don't know the name of it, so it seems like dumb for me to even consider talking about it. But it's just the camera work, and it just seemed like so seamless of transitioning from like out a window down, traveling down, along the grass, and then into a gymnasium.
So crazy.
Without, it's like, did they use a drone? Can you? I don't know.
But like I tried to kind of address with the Children of Men. Mm-hmm. So some of those shots were just insane. Like there's the car chase, and they're actually like moving the camera from one window to the roof.
Oh yeah, they're passing it.
They're passing it around inside the camera to get the angle.
I just don't know how they could do that. I was like, okay, do they have this camera on a really long?
It wasn't 667. I'll tell you that.
All right, Tom. There goes all your friends. It's a matter of like, I just thought in my head like maybe they had a really long like, you know how they do the cameras on the wires for football games?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, maybe it's that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the only explanation.
Yeah, because you can't. But even like 1917, all the crane work. But you go, at some point, that crane has to like hit something or make the train go off somewhere, right?
They can stabilize it.
I know, but
I don't know
that whole long run and like
I don't know because then you've seen the cars. There's the cars that drive with the maybe it's I don't know how it's
crazy.
Did it.
Yeah,
they went out a window. Here's the window, out a window, down, onto the grass, and then continued on, and then went up and then over things, and then into. It's like there's no way it could be a drone because then it went over people's heads. So you can't do it with a drone, and it wasn't far. It was like here are the people, here's the drone, and then it just went or the camera rather, and it went like this.
Wow!
So you can't do that with a drone. No, because you can't get close to somebody.
Because the wind would change the hair, whatever.
Excuse me. Yeah,
that's so crazy.
It was weird. So then I was like, okay, maybe it's a car. I thought maybe they pass it off. You know, it's like a thing. You pass it off. Someone takes it, holds it down, and then I was like, oh, but then they went over train tracks and there's no bumps.
Is there anything on Reddit?
Because they can. I didn't want to look too much into it.
Yeah, you love the spectacle of what it was.
I was just in awe of watching it.
It's like a Hardcore Henry. You seen that movie?
I don't think I have seen that movie. No.
Oh my god, it's a trip.
Yeah.
Clearly the camera's on. Like someone's like Ed.
Oh, that's the one where it's like this guy. It's all like first
parkour.
person, right?
Yeah, it's all parkour.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Stuff, and
So it's like it's a first person view of this guy. You never see the guy.
no, that's right.
Right. Okay.
And,
Oh, is that the guy when you see the same guy over and over again? It's like clones.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't watch it, but I know
It's
of the
trippy.
movie.
It took me two times to watch it because the first time I watched it, I was like,
Did it get you kind of motion sickness?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's like Blair Witch.
Right, and it's like I need to watch this again, and I watched it again, and I realized all the tricks that I had to go into this movie.
Yeah.
Because even too, like he's looking down the alley, and there's a guy with a rocket launcher shoots the rocket, and you see it coming at him, and then he goes by and hits a van.
Yeah.
And like, there's no edit. Like,
No.
how do you do that? Like, it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
like,
CGI.
a lot of the stuff was just like groundbreaking for the fact that I mean, we see it as a video game. And
Sure.
we take it
Video
for granted,
gamers, we do it all the time.
but this is like, you can't really distinguish when it's real and when it's not. I don't feel, and that's what I like. CG movies. Like I can't watch Avatar, but I'll watch something where it's enough that it takes you away from not knowing if it's real or not.
Yeah,
but not pulling you away from the story.
That's fair. Like Marvel movies. There's so much CGI. Like
There's
Robert
so
Downey
much.
Jr.'s costume in the last 3 movies he was in
Yeah.
was all CGI. He's like, I'm not putting the suit on. So he walked around with just like those green dots or blue dots, whatever, on his body,
right.
and he just pretended
Yeah.
it was all bullshit.
Crazy.
Because he's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not putting that suit on again. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
I'd be like, replace him. No.
Yeah, that's what they might now.
Well, they can't.
But that's what's hard now with, like, again, this is, I don't know, it may sound hypocritical for me, but I can get behind the CG of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because it's a different world.
Yeah.
But when they try to do, like The Matrix, I never really got into it.
I loved it. That's okay.
You
To
know,
each
it's
their
just
own,
really
man.
weird. I don't know.
To each
I
their
can't
own.
explain
They don't
it,
make
but-
movies just for one person, Tom.
know,
Believe
I
it or not.
can't
Believe it or
explain
not.
it, but-
I want to explain this to you real quick. Believe it or not, Hollywood doesn't make movies for you. They make movies.
should.
They make movies for everybody, not one person.
Yeah. The new James Bond comes out Friday.
Yeah, it looks good. And then Mr. Sean Connery just passed away. So the
Yeah, he
original
did.
OG James Bond, 91 or 90?
90. Which
Yeah.
again, you know what? Great run.
I think that's great.
I'm not going to be sad for that. That's
No, man. Everybody's like,
his
oh, it's the,
legacy.
you
What
know.
he's done. Like
Oh yeah.
at 90 years old, that's when you kick the bucket. That's perfect.
Still, even if he didn't have a legacy like he had,
Right.
90 is a good time to die, man. Just like, isn't that one of the
44.
Bond movies? Good time to die. That's a but whatever. You know what? You die when you die. You know. I just
Yeah.
I don't want this to sound terrible, but it's like everybody's like, oh, the celebrity died at 65.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he also was a drug addict and he
Yeah.
drank himself to death. But let's praise him for whatever.
Yeah.
You know, when people in your family or anybody in like normal outside of the acting world
5
die die at 65 and you write RIP on your post, you get like
oh, sorry.
you get
for
like
your loss.
like 3 people sorry for your loss. And then if an actor died at 65 because he fucking injected heroin
Yeah.
and overdose, you're like gone too soon. RIP. Do not fucking give him that credit.
It's
for that.
hypocritical.
Yeah.
There's actually a comedian that does a lot of music. His name is Jean Lajoie. He's Canadian,
Yeah.
actually.
I watched that video. You showed me.
Yeah. And then he does one talking about Michael Jackson and saying how you're all fucking hypocrites.
Yeah.
He's like, how can you say he's a pedophile, is this and that, and all of a sudden he dies? Oh, he was the greatest performer ever. He was the Prince of Pop. Listen, stop
Yeah.
flopping.
Well, he
over
was
and
the king
over.
of pop.
Yeah, but stop flopping over and over.
True.
Then now, you were spitting on him while he was alive right now. But now that he's dead, now we throw the praises. And again,
I mean, everybody does that.
I feel that that's the whole Jacob's ladder, if you will, of being a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
So you go up, people are trying to bring you down. The whole time is you're trying to go up,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you like stay stagnant, you're looking for a controversy to bring you into the limelight again, and it may not be the best way to do it. And then when you die, your triumph is, oh, look how good he was. It's like it's the constant praising and the back patting.
Yeah.
That's, as a celebrity, I can never get, because it just takes the genuinity of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No,
a good
I
guy's a
get
good guy, right?
Yeah, so it's like, if the one day when like your favorite actor who was like the best guy, like God forbid Ryan Reynolds
Right,
dies one day,
right,
it'll be a tragedy.
Right.
It'll be a Canadian tragedy.
right.
He was like, did you see? I'm speaking of dead Canadians. Did you see John Candy?
Yes.
Got a John Candy
day,
Day.
yeah.
but it's on Halloween.
Well, his birthday was October 31st.
Oh, was it?
1950.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
So there you go.
Still, though, it's like you give him a Halloween. It's Halloween. It's John Candy Day. It's like he's kind of like.
I know you kind of like cloud it over, but at least they acknowledged it.
I guess next Halloween I got to be John Candy.
Maybe.
I'll be Uncle Buck. Cigars and the top hat, trench coat.
Yeah,
I'll rent a shitty fucking.
I love that they honored that, and
I like that
again
too.
Another great guy that kind of stayed in that line of like he wasn't the celebrity, he wasn't looking for attention. He just gave everything he gave to every role, every movie he did, and you loved him.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even like there was the times like where he wasn't really like the main star of the movie.
Yeah,
but still brought some like the first Vacation. And he's the security guard.
Oh, yeah.
You know who he is, and you're just like, oh, my God, here he is. And then, like, even in Home Alone.
Oh, yeah, when he was the poker player,
right?
and he helped Kevin's mom get him.
But then you see him starring in roles, and it's The Great Outdoors.
Oh, so good.
Planes, Trains, and
Uncle Buck.
Automobiles.
Yeah, so good.
And you're just like, he kills you.
He was going to be, he was like the star of comedy, I would say.
Tell me one movie that he was in that you go like, oh, I never really liked that movie.
You know what? I couldn't tell you.
Right?
I couldn't tell you one.
There's a charm about everything he touched.
Yeah, 100%. Right? And it's like Chris Farley had the same sort of a thing too.
To
a certain degree.
To a certain degree. I think Farley was more, he ended up being the same character over and over again. Like, oh, look at me flip into a table. Look at me roll down a hill.
That's fair.
But it's because that's what he knew could get
the
laughs.
Like Adam Sandler?
Yeah, this crazy doofy voices. Yeah.
Totally.
But like John Candy to me was that marvel where you could tell he put everything into the movie. You could feel that character.
Oh, I totally agree with you. 100%.
And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is still one of my favorite movies.
Nice,
because it grabs you. Like the whole frustration of Steve Martin just wanting to get home for Thanksgiving to see his family. He's been locked into this advertising meeting for too long. The plane, like he misses the plane. He gets on the late plane. It has to detour because now there's a huge snowstorm. He's now in Kansas.
Well, also because he couldn't get a cab, right, or something. Yeah,
but he's in Kansas, and now he's stuck with this guy who's just like annoying him. And
he's like, the goof, the lovable goof.
I don't think that it was even that it was the John Candy or the Del Griffith that was the character was really annoying Steve Martin. It was just the situation. It was the distraction. Like,
totally,
I need to get home. I don't give a fuck who you are. I just need to get home.
Yeah. And you just like everything that happens, like you keep it, like how he took his car at the rental place, and it's like it's just everything about him was like, this is because of you. Why none of this shit's happening for me? No, totally.
And then when it came together at the end, he's sitting in the subway. He's like, okay, I'm like 3 miles from home, and he's now reflecting on the whole week. And you just see this expression change that he's laughing at all the flashbacks.
Yeah, because he realized he had a good time, but he was just too stressed out about getting home.
Yeah. And then he realizes that the reason why this guy is like there in the memory now is because how much this guy put into his life for that 1 week.
100%.
And you realize that guy really had nothing.
Yeah.
And then you watch that, you're like, I'm not going to cry this year. I'm not going to cry. Fuck you again. You know? John Hughes does it again. Just pulls at the heartstrings. And, but it's one of those moments where you just, again, I don't know who you could have cast to give you that annoyance.
I don't know.
Charm.
Steve Martin. Steve Martin to me is another one of those actors too that is just so good in everything he does.
Right.
It just the two of them together, because was that the first movie they were in together.
Together, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just hit it out of the park, man. They should have done more movies together.
Yeah, I think they could have. I don't know. It would be different writers. It wouldn't be the same characters. But yeah, that chemistry there was really definitely good. And I think with that old SCTV Saturday Night Live genre of actors, you had to work with someone because you had 20 people on a stage on one night that was live every week. If I said I can't get along with you, well then like you're killing the hour and it's live. Like you had to work with everyone in the room.
And you know what? You guys all knew you were in there for the same reason.
But it was different levels of comedy. Like Steve Martin playing a banjo and got an arrow in his head and he's doing stand-up that everyone loves and he's playing a character. How does Bill Murray with his level of humor work with it? Or Eddie Murphy with his level of street humor work with these guys? And it worked every time. And then John Belushi, same thing. Just a crazy wild guy, like cokehead, right? But it worked. It worked because I guess they all had to come from if we don't make this work, we're gonna get.
We're gonna be back. We're gonna be homeless. Back on the street.
Right. So there was a desperation, and it all came together. It worked. Yeah. Because Chevy Chase, as what I know of, he's an asshole. He's an asshole to other comedians.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So how did he work in a room with all these other people?
Because he knows how to play the game, and they all know how to play the game. Yeah. Because he was really good, and everybody loved him. The others who he was assholes to just had to go with it to make their career.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Could you be a writer for Saturday Night
Live? I've come up with a few skits. I feel like they could have been really well on Saturday Night Live, and you just have to. I don't think you pick who plays the character. Or maybe sometimes you write for a specific one. Yeah. But you could also be like, here's the scenario. And then maybe Lauren Michaels like, okay, you're going to play this, you're going to play this, and you're going to do this. I think that's sort of the...
It's crazy. But there's also, too, like, you have to, like, kind of keep it up to, like, what's happening this week before the Saturday.
Yep.
Make sure that, okay, like, you know, when they did the presidential debate. And there was a fly on Mike Pence's
I'm sure they must change... They might add scripts depending on what changes during the week.
But did you see
I'm sure
that
Friday
script?
night... I'm sure Friday night it gets, like...
Right.
Flipped over, switched a couple times for Saturday.
It has to.
Especially for like the weekend updates when they do all the news. They're talking about stuff that like just happens on the Friday.
Right.
But that's an easier thing to change than a skit.
Right. But what throws me off is that, you know, there's a fly on Mike Pence's head during the vice presidential debate. And we all see it. We all see it in the debate. And we go, okay. And then it turns into a meme. And then for the Saturday Night Live skit, it's Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden, who turns into a fly and it's on his head. So, like, that happened on a Wednesday. So you have now 2 days pretty much to go. That's right about the fly. Who's casting the fly? Well, Joe Biden is already played by Jim Carrey. So we have to call him up again and do this little scene.
I feel like they had to know like what's happening in the week as far as that. So they knew they were going to do a presidential debate. Skit.
Right.
And then when the gold like that happens, they just adjust. They're like, well, what can we do? How can we do this? Let's do it.
Jim Carrey just had to like fly. Of course. Like, it worked. It was so good. And
totally good.
You know, and there's still some magic in it. I mean, I haven't watched
Saturday Night Live.
a full show since the 90s, since we talked about
so
like,
I also don't even like have cable anymore. So for me to
find it,
I can get on the Global app or whatever TV app and trying to watch it, but no, I don't know. I'm not really watching it.
Right.
But I watch I'll go on YouTube and watch a few clips and stuff after. Or everybody posts like funny things here and there, so I'll just get my little fix.
Yeah,
for sure.
The Bill Burr one apparently was amazing.
Was
just
it?
Loved it.
That was his first time, right?
First time as a host. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. I found the name of the movie.
Okay.
It's called The Vast of Night.
Okay.
It is phenomenal. I recommend it.
Yes, nice. Okay, nice.
Whether or not I was high when I watched it was not important.
No, I think
it was really good.
If you say you can't see where the seams are in the
honestly, and they had these amazing long scenes that where you knew there were no cuts. There was just a slow push in and like a push out, a pull out.
That is a marvel in directing.
Honestly, I don't know who directed it, but I was so impressed. It was Andrew Patterson is the director, and I don't know him from anything, but it was really, I was super impressed with it.
Cool.
Yeah, 1950s, so it was all. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to give too much away. I recommend, and this is what I did. It was recommended to us to watch it without reading the synopsis of it.
Okay, so Vast of Night.
The Vast of Night. Okay. Watch it. I recommend it. It's fantastic.
And how did Carolyn like From Dusk Till Dawn? Like, obviously
she loved it.
Did she hear this?
She did.
Okay.
So she didn't get the opportunity to watch
Experience
it without.
Experience as it, yeah.
But she's like, I could see how this is two movies.
Right.
She's like, because it starts at this, we talked about it. But then she's like, honestly, she loved it. She's like, I can't believe I haven't seen this movie till today.
Yeah, it's.
We almost watched the second and third one. I'm like, I don't know.
No. But the writing of it, like just the characters.
Well, Quentin Tarantino.
Of course, brilliant, right? Like
brilliant.
Is he really going to do one more movie?
Probably not.
Is it going to be the Star Trek movie?
Man. Is that what he's supposed to do? Direct or write and direct?
He said, I think it was Vanity Fair, one of the magazines, that he would always love to do his own version of a Star Trek.
Oh, I didn't think that was even up his alley, to be honest.
But at the same time, I'm not surprised either.
Well, he also directed an episode of CSI, I think.
Did he?
I
thought Rob Zombie did.
I thought it was Tarantino.
Maybe. Okay.
We don't know shit. We don't know anything.
I know Tarantino was in a Golden Girls episode.
Was he?
Yeah, he was an Elvis impersonator.
Get out of here.
Way back. Just one of the episodes. It wasn't a character, but yeah.
Hey, listen, I saw a commercial for Golden Girls.
Okay.
And I remember watching it as a kid.
Okay.
Is one of those Golden Girls played by a man?
No.
She looks like it.
Ooh, you talking about like Estelle Getty, like Rose?
The tall
not
one?
Rose. Bea Arthur? No, she's not.
Is that Bea Arthur?
That's Bea Arthur.
I don't know. I thought it was a man, dude. I was like, oh shit, Golden Girls was ahead of its time,
then
man.
There's Maude. No, she's Bea Arthur. She was just one of those comedians. She just always had a dry wit about her. In her
she
voice,
just
the deep voice. She was actually
maybe this is one of the
too.
later episodes. She looked like very manly,
Right?
and like she just, I don't know. Sorry, Bea
Oh, that's
Arthur.
Bea Arthur.
Sorry, like keep in mind, like Golden Girls was not my show.
If you want a funny like synopsis of her, watch the Pamela Anderson celebrity roast.
This one here, that's Bea Arthur.
Yep, that's Bea Arthur. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that's you.
Dorothy.
Maybe I was a bit high,
Yeah,
but I was like, is that a man? They were the first person in the whole
And
time.
she's the youngest.
That old brother.
Yeah,
she
mother?
she was stopping my mom will shoot.
Yeah, and she's actually younger out of all four of them. She's the youngest.
Looks like she was the oldest.
And
did they put prosthetics on her?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
then the wig and everything else. So this is the way she walked and stuff. But so Bea Arthur is in the celebrity roast of Pamela Anderson,
Oh yeah.
and it's bad because she really doesn't do anything. She's just sitting in a chair,
Yeah.
and everyone's just laying into her, like
I'll
just
have
throwing
to
into.
watch it.
And then she gets to stand up, and all she's doing on the dais is just reading an excerpt from Pamela Anderson's like fictional character book.
Oh my god.
And she's just like reading with glasses, and she starts like talking about all the like the dirty stuff, and she comes to a dirty part in the book, and then she just stops and gives one of these.
Nice. I'll have a look. I'll have to definitely take a look at it. I'm interested.
Yeah, the celebrity roast again.
I love those.
My favorite one, and it's not anywhere. Well, I mean, I probably can find it online, but it was never formatted into a DVD or anything.
Okay.
Was the Larry the Cable Guy roast? And funny enough, I didn't
Okay.
want to watch it. I was like, who gives a fuck about Larry the Cable
He
Guy?
was funny for a
right?
minute.
That stand up. Oh my god!
Because it all was all like
dying.
was it all the redneck comedians making fun of
No,
him?
it was Jeff Foxworthy, Gary Busey, Greg Giraldo. It was his last one. Just a bunch of them, and it just Greg Giraldo was the king, and unfortunately he died. He drowned himself in alcohol, which sucks. But his thing when he goes
way
up,
to bring that mood real quick down.
Yeah,
real
I know,
quick.
but
Just because we didn't have to talk about it. We brought it way down.
Because his level of comedy, especially the roast, he could have gone somewhere so much bigger than where he was at.
Yep.
He gets on the dais. Larry the Cable Guy, huh? So I guess we're roasting fictional characters. Who's it going to be next year? SpongeBob SquarePants?
Nice.
And the whole room is just dead.
Oh my god!
And like
that's
Greg
so
Giraldo and Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
Like, I think they always had that like commonality that they would always try to outdo each other, and then Greg died, so now it's always Jeff Ross that's always the over the top guy
for sure.
But like you could see in the earlier roast when it was between the two of them,
Yeah.
who was trying to outdo each other.
Fair enough.
But Greg would always do it with his words, and it was
Nice.
always the holy shit! Like, whoa, look at this guy! Like he would always go into like just ripping in right away.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
But the Larry the Cable Guy roast, I swear to God, the windows were shaking. I was laughing so hard because I was with my family and everything just like
That's awesome.
and it was nonstop. And
I'll have to. I don't think I've seen that one. I'm sure I've seen parts of the
trying to
Pamela
find
Anderson one, but I'm sure it's on the comedy channel, the comedy app or
Yeah,
something.
maybe. But the very first one. Do you know the very first one? What it was?
I don't. I feel like I should.
It was the
James
roast.
Franco. Was
No,
it?
because it was another one that never appeared after it aired. It was the roast of Hugh Hefner.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
But it was done on September 14th, 2001.
Oh,
right.
So 3 days after.
3 days after,
Yeah.
or whatever the Saturday is after the
9/11.
9/11. And reason why it's not aired, Gilbert Gottfried gets on the dais.
Yeah.
He's like, I would have been here sooner, but there were no direct flights to the Empire State Building.
Oh my god.
Killed the room. Like, just like.
Silenced or
Yeah,
or maybe,
just silence.
Nice.
You can hear crickets after. Like, people are still kind of somewhat traumatized.
Somewhat. It was
What
3 days
happened?
later, man. Of course it
Like-
was.
like-
But they must have recorded that prior to 9/11. It's not live.
No, but they did it the 3 days after. Right, they did it live.
They recorded it 3 days after.
Yeah. And he just comes up and he goes, and you're like, oh my God. And I mean, that's Gilbert's level of comedy, right?
Fair
but
enough. I just can't believe they keep putting Martha Stewart on fucking those roasts. Like, she's not a comedian.
I know. That's what, now that's like oversaturated. Every year they're just doing one. I feel like it's overscripted. It's like,
clearly someone's writing the jokes to the people who are not comedians.
We did it 3 months ago, and now you're waiting like 3 months later to watch it. Where like I think like when it was the Dennis Leary roast, the William Shatner roast, it didn't feel scripted because it was all comedians. Yeah, but I think like after the Greg Giraldo thing, then they realized how much ratings they could get.
Yeah, they're making money now,
and some of them are bringing in brand new comedians that you've never seen before. Yep. But I remember what Amy Schumer's first one was the roast of Steve-O. Okay. And Amy Schumer, like to this point, I still will not respect her as a comedian.
Of what she did?
Yeah, because she said, "Oh, it looks like the wrong person died in a car accident for the Jackass crew," talking about Ryan Dunn. Yeah. And you could tell Steve-O was like really hurt by that. Actually,
I mean, you got to know there's going to be stuff like that.
It wasn't Steve-O. It was someone else, but Steve-O was on the dais, and I'm just like, but it was still tasteless because you didn't know who she was. And that was the first thing she said.
Well, the thing is like to get famous, you need to say things that make people want to watch the rest of your stuff.
That's right.
Just like that chick who roasted Trump at something, that redheaded comedian. Now she has her own show. Yeah. I don't know her name because she means nothing to me. Right. So like she's like got this awful voice. She's got like this like she looks like Little Annie, redheaded or redheaded chick. She looks like that, but like grown up and did meth. You know what I mean? So like now she did like this, but this is I don't know if this is when Trump was president or before. I can't remember. Yeah. And then she made these political jokes, and then like she got like hazed by all these politicians rather. Yeah. And then Comedy Channel's like, hey, guess what? Now you're relevant for a second. Yeah, of course. Here's a show. Yeah. And there's not enough political comedy shows out there, so let's throw one more into the mix.
Yeah. And that's what I find watching this Comedy Store documentary. I highly recommend it. It's a Showtime series. 6 episodes, and the one last night they're showing like all the comedians that can only be slated as the last slot because they're just so over the top, but they're the ones that if you have the time and you can stay up that late at the comedy club, those are the ones to watch because you'll never see them from anywhere else, but their performances are great. And they were showing this one guy, unbelievable, and it's all the old school kind of like the gangster rips, like basically where he's talking about like race is off the board. Like it doesn't matter what you are. If you're going to be offended, he's going to say it. Yeah. And the louder
that's what comedy was about.
And the louder the groans in the room, well, fuck you. I said it, get the fuck out, right?
Yeah, like an Andrew Dice Clay.
And there's people leaving the room and you can see the guy. He's like, oh, sorry to keep you longer than you should have been. Like, just doesn't give a fuck.
It's true. And the people are too desensitized. And I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons, if there's something that's way offside, obviously. Right. But if a comedian is going up there and he's making fun of Catholics and he's making fun of whites and blacks and Asians and everybody, he's not just strictly saying,
fuck these guys.
Fuck this particular group in general.
Speech. Yeah. Right.
He's not particularly being like, I don't like these people. I'm ripping on them, but I'll never tell a joke about this group. Right, yeah. It's like if you do a whole group of, if your jokes run around a circle, right, and it's not a straight line to one point, right, it's not bad. It's comedy. That's right. Comedy is subjective, obviously, but comedy is also, you should be allowed to joke about everything. So if black comics can make fun of white comics make fun of black comics. It's not racism. It's comedy.
That's right.
It's
you have to know why you're in that room, first of all, right? Like, obviously, we can't rip like this when we're on set.
Of course not.
Right?
I mean, I do. But
it depends on who you know. But at the same time, we're not talking like this when we're working. Right. At the same time, when we are working, that's our room. But when we're in this room,
but if my job is to rip on people and make other people laugh, I don't know. I get
it's hard to do though too.
I don't know.
Right?
I get it. But it's also like you also have to like, it's funny. It's a joke. It's not real. It's not. You're not going to a TED Talk. Right. You're not going to. Don't go to a comedy club and expect to be like, this guy means everything he says. Yeah. No, it's a joke.
You have to know that the guy on stage is playing a character for that moment. Like,
exactly.
You think Bill Burr is that heated? You think Bill Burr's that mad?
I think he's that mad all the time. Bill Burr is a bad example. I think he's mad all the time. But no, it's like you didn't go to someone's doing just a public speech.
Right.
He's not going, well, the Italians are this, and this.
Yeah.
The Irish and the Germans and the blacks and everybody. He's not doing that.
No.
But he's not saying, he's not, anyway, you know what I'm saying.
If you know good comedians, you can distinguish.
Listen, being Italian, I go to a comedy club and Italians get ripped into, I laugh my ass off,
Of course.
I don't care what color the comedian is.
Sebastian Maniscalco, when he's talking about his grandmother and his grandfather raising them, and you're just like, I've been in that room.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And the grandmother's in the basement making the sauce, and you're wearing these flip flops. You see that? I've seen that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me too. Canning, making
it's amazing.
After
and he paints a picture, and everybody who no matter what race you are, you're like, I know that. Everybody knows that person.
And every Italian family has the family member, the father, the grandfather, the uncle that has the garden in the backyard.
Of course.
Right?
100%.
There's the tomatoes grow fresh. The
100%.
basil. I'm not going to the supermarket to get the fucking tomatoes when I got a bushel here, right?
Yeah, I know. And not enough to make sauce. You don't have that many.
They do. Right?
I watched. It's true. I watched this comedy special.
Right.
I can't remember how old it was or how long ago it was, but it was essentially white comics going into black comedy clubs.
Okay.
And it was a special.
So
I can't remember what it's called.
Or whatever,
something like that. I don't remember the line of it, but it was like there was only black people in the audience, but white comics.
Wow.
And they killed it, man.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they were going there for.
That's it.
There was this one old white comic playing a guitar. He wrote a song. It was called "Honky in the Neighborhood." It was hilarious.
Nice.
And then this one comic's like, "Yo, I've been with a black girl," and they're all like, "No," and they're like, "Hey, she told me I was the biggest she ever had," and he was going off. They're all laughing. Yeah, he's like, "But then I found out her last boyfriend was Asian."
Awesome.
The crowd went nuts. It was really funny special. It was really good.
Bill Burr says he loves working the black clubs because it's the same thing. He knows that he has to change the game a little bit on his style.
Of course.
But never to be the token guy.
Yeah.
Or they go, oh, look how different I am. He goes, no, I know I'm different. When I walk onto the stage, I know what I'm going up against. But I can now say a different basketball reference to this part of the joke than I could with the white guys. And they get it better, right? And
fair enough.
Again, I would love to try it.
What, comedy?
And not to dismiss it as I could do what you do as a stand-up comedian. But I would love to have that feel, that experience.
At the end of the show when everybody's laughing, you get that almost like that high.
Or even if you don't. I just want to know what that's like.
Well, why don't you go to once the world opens up, once the world finally opens up again, there's open mics.
Yeah.
And you have to start small bars, open mics. But I used to go to one. It wasn't Yuck Yucks, but it was the other one. I can't remember what it's called.
Right, the one on Eglinton.
The one Young and Eglinton with the platypus.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know, but I can't think.
I've been there a few times. Okay. It's pretty good. I think it was Wednesday nights they had open mics or new comics or something like that. Yeah. And I went a couple times and it was hit and miss, but it was good.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's tough.
It's not easy.
How do you come up with material that the whole room can like? And I mean, we're kind of feeling that now with what we do. And I mean, I'm grateful for every second that everyone's just listening to it and can relate to it, which is great. But to do it, to get the attention of someone, the whole room, for that moment, for the story you're telling.
Well, you're almost like a rock star. Consider it that way, because as a musician, and you go up there and you play for whether it's 30 people or 30,000 people,
right?
It's still empowering to sit there and just play your music for people. So I look at it the same way. It's but there's no music,
right? And
you're alone.
Well,
you're not up on stage.
Oh, I know.
With 3 of your bandmates or whatever.
Yeah, you can't just look around it's you.
Yeah, when you fuck up,
they're watching you.
You fuck up as one person.
The lights on you.
Yeah, because in a band, if you're I've played in bands, and I don't know, you're playing a song, and if you fuck up one note on the song, no one's gonna really notice it.
No.
Because the other, the drums are loud, and the bass is loud, and the other guitar, et cetera, and the singer is doing his thing. Say, you're a 5-piece band, but you as a comedian, you fuck up a line, you gotta backpedal, you gotta go back a little bit. You gotta be like, oh wait, oh shit, I told this joke wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You can't even do that. But you couldn't even do that, because as soon as you do that, you've killed the room.
Just let that joke go. Move on to the next one. Be like, you know what? Fuck that one up. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know where I was going with this.
But then you have to have something. Like, that's the thing. I don't know if I could tell a story, and I know I have many that I could turn into a stand-up routine. Yeah. But if I could do it in the time frame of, the light's on, I got to stop.
Yeah, you have 30 seconds. You have 3 minutes. Right. You have 5 minutes. You have 7 minutes. Yeah. Like that's your thing.
And then at that point, would I know if that was the punchline that was winning for everyone? Yeah. Or is that the joke that I tell?
Well, listen, all major comedians,
right?
They do like small little clubs,
right?
Just randomly, they call up a club, be like, "Hey, I'm going to try some new material."
Yeah.
And so they go to that. They try new material. If it fails, they won't do it on their comedy special, or they won't do it on their arena tour. Like they try in small groups prior to
see how it works.
Yeah, like they'll still go up and they'll do their good stuff. Like I went to go see Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. And they're like, he's like, I'm gonna try some new material on you guys and stuff like that. And this was like in Massey Hall. I went to see him.
Wow. Okay.
And it wasn't good.
No.
And I mean, he got some laughs out of the crowd, but then when he did his old stuff, it was like amazing.
Right.
Obviously, it was gold material.
But
he just started telling like weird stories, and then it wasn't funny. There was no punchline. I'm like, are you trying to be a motivational speaker now? All of a sudden, like it didn't work for me.
But I think that's what's weird because they're bouncing off other people that are doing it kind of in the same lane and go, I want to try that. Like Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
Can come onto stage at 9:00 at night and tell you about his whole day. And you're dying.
Yeah.
Because of the way he's telling you the story.
Of course.
And of course, he's
raunchy.
Dirty, right?
He's raunchy. But, he's so good, man.
When he's talking about where he finds the egg and he tries to put the egg up his ass.
No, I don't know that joke.
Yeah. It's over the top. But
nice.
That's always his thing. And
you're
just going, oh my God. And you're where he has Coke Dick and he's in the hotel in Montreal and he's like,
no, I didn't know that. I guess I don't know enough a lot about him. I know he started his own show.
I never watched it.
And I watched a bit of it, and it's really funny. And then he's like, we're gonna get our LA weatherman, and it was Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And it was funny.
See, I don't know if I can watch the show because I feel like it would be taming him down.
It might be a little tamer.
Right. And I mean, you've watched The Cabin now, right?
I've watched some episodes of it. It's okay.
I couldn't see that as a TV show, a full-on like TV series on like ABC.
No, of course not.
And at the same time, 5 episodes was enough to go, I'd like to see another one. But if I didn't, I'd be happy.
Honestly, I didn't love it. I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay.
I just, I didn't love it. And the phone calls between him and his wife are so staged, it's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, I feel like it was like that too.
I felt like the entire thing wasn't as
genuine as Bert. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like it was very staged.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like it was still funny.
Right.
But I thought it was going to be more like reality-ish. Like they showed up, him hanging out with his buddies, doing the stupidest things. Like the first episode was super funny with
Joey Diaz and Tom Segura.
I thought it was really funny. Yeah. But the moment he FaceTimed his wife and it was that bloom and then it was her screen, his screen, I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It lost it for me. Now I'm assuming everything there is scripted.
But then I think that's the director too. Because there was times where...
Well, it's his show, man.
It would show the emu in the cooler.
In the cooler.
And then they talk about it, and then it goes back. So it's like, why wouldn't you do the format where let's witness everything happening at once, and then do the fire?
It was way too scripted to the fire pit at the end.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong. There were some funny moments.
Right.
And Nikki Glazer and that dude. Anyway,
come on, it's Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes.
Not that dude. that woman. No. It's just to me, it's just so funny, man. It's just his voice. Anyway, her voice. Sorry. I also think he changed into a woman because he hit someone with his car and he can't go to the gym. Anyway, I'm gonna edit this out. I just didn't like that episode at all.
It was weird, but
didn't like it at all.
But at the same time, I got away with watching it and going, okay, I learned something today. Because the perspective of, again, just as we're joking about it now, right? And
it's scripted, man. It's 100% scripted. But I didn't like it.
It is an uncomfortable topic because how do you I accept
it's not
it.
Uncomfortable.
Like I accept it. If you want to be a transgender, that's fine. I can accept it. But how do I address you? And it sounds ignorant as fuck.
No, but you express them as what they've transitioned into. There's no what do I?
But,
so
like,
if they
you can't say
transition,
dude. Like just by habit, would you go, "Hey, dude"? And I know that
that's me. I say "Hey, dude" to everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
Now is that going to offend the person?
Maybe.
Right.
And if they say something, then you change it. He's like, "Sorry."
But the fact that when Caitlin's in the room with Nikki Glazer and Bert.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what the perspective in Caitlin's mind was of who her identified with.
Mm-hmm.
When Bert passed the phone from his dad, and the dad's like, and again, I accept who you are, but you made this impact 40 years ago when I saw you as the Olympic thing.
Yeah.
He didn't go, listen, I'm not Bruce anymore. Can you just knock it off?
Well, no. First of all,
right?
He's still that person who ran.
Right, I know.
She's still that person who ran the Olympics. So it's not like I'm not that person because you should never say you're not. They're not identifying as a new person.
Right.
They're still that person.
Right.
So it's just you have to accept them now for who they are as a he now or a she now, and that's just the way it is. So he's not going to turn around and be like, "Oh no, Bruce Jenner doesn't exist."
But do you think that may have pissed off some people in that community?
Absolutely not. Okay. Because it's not. You don't delete your history.
I want to say that you can't.
No, no, and they're not deleting their browser history. You know what I mean? In that sense of it. They're not. They're not be like, "There's no Bruce Jenner."
Right.
It was Bruce Jenner, and now he's Caitlyn because he is now transitioned over. But you don't forget everything you did as
of course,
as
unless it was a car accident.
Unless it was a car accident.
But I think it's funny though too, like that emotion, and then Bert starts crying. And I think there was a double meaning of that emotion because he probably never heard his dad say how proud he was of Bert.
Or of someone else.
But saying to this, track star, this Olympian.
Yeah.
And going, well, my dad was it was a track and field all of his life. It was like, that was his lost art. And he just starts crying. And I know Bert can be that selfish person.
Yeah.
Not as a friend, but just by what I've watched.
Of course.
And when you see him crying, it opened the door as to Caitlyn as who she is now, of what she's portraying now.
You saying Bert fucking Kreschner opened the door for Caitlyn?
No. That it opened the door for the whole realm to go, it's okay to have this person in the room, discuss the past without feeling like, can I call you Bruce? Like, can I like?
I don't think that show is groundbreaking.
Man, no, I don't know. I got something out of it.
That's fair. Right? I mean, it opens up for people who don't realize it as much.
And I can say I'm fully ignorant about it, but I'm not going to be.
I'm 100% confident in my words saying that show's fucking scripted.
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure. I don't want to say his crying was fake,
right?
But it could have been.
Maybe I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, because you know how much I love Bert Kreischer.
Right.
I love the machine.
Right. Yeah.
I love his comedy. I think he's fantastic. I just like, if you're gonna do a reality show, do a reality show.
Yeah.
And so for me, as soon as anything I see that's clearly not a reality show, I'm gonna assume the rest of the show is fake. Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, if it is, I love it, but don't claim it to be.
Like you'll never watch a Bachelor or a Bachelorette.
I didn't say that. Because that is like I watch Jersey Shore and I watch I watch reality. You know I do.
Yes, yeah.
But don't make it obvious that it's scripted to me.
Okay.
As soon as don't call your wife.
Yeah.
If he didn't call his wife and do that stupid video chat, I wouldn't have like immediately put it in my mind. I'm like, nah, fuck this show. So now I'm playing on my phone when I'm watching it. It's now become a show I'm not interested in.
It's noise now. Yeah.
Because it wasn't. It's not even party. It's tamed. So tamed.
Yeah.
So to me, it was bullshit.
No, tell me though, you wouldn't want one of those cigars that they made though.
Oh yeah, of course I would, 100%. But that's a different story. That's a different story.
I wonder if Scott knows a cigar roller.
Well, I think he goes to stores. I don't know if he knows anybody that rolls. Just go fucking buy them. Someone clearly who's good at them fucking rolled it.
No, but I want one of those.
Fucking call Bert Kreischer. Go on his reality show. Maybe he can roll one up for
another one.
Maybe it could be
man.
He'd be like, I out of the blue invited a fan up to roll a cigar for. Let me call my wife and tell her, hey honey, this is bullshit scripted.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's a scripted fucking show, Bert Kreischer. Right. I love you, but I didn't appreciate it.
I love following him on Instagram though, like when he's doing stuff with his family.
Because that's legit,
so
man.
I know.
That show, if he did legit, like, hey, come up here. He's like, I'm gonna have so and so from this time. As soon as they leave, I'll have so and so from this time, and we're just gonna do the stupidest shit. And then just if you gotta edit it, you gotta edit it. I get it.
Right.
But do not.
Dude,
Don't fucking.
Don't make it like it is and it isn't. Yeah.
And then you guys sit around. Okay, Bert, say to Caitlin about the moment of your dad.
Yeah.
You know, like it's clearly scripted.
Yeah.
The cuts are off. That's what's cut. It's cut
the cuts
so.
are off.
It's so much.
The
cutting.
directing is bad. I find. Yeah.
It's his show, isn't it?
No, there's a director.
Yeah, but he can say like, let's not. It's his show.
I do think he's that well articulated about it. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. We'll see.
I like to believe he is.
Yeah. But,
Anyway.
So what's
I'm not saying don't watch it, but
what was your favorite like reality show when you watched it going into it going, I want to see more of this? And then did it like deflate on you like Flavor of Love?
Well, no. I was like, for me it was all about Jersey Shore. Like I loved it.
You loved Jersey Shore.
I just loved, and I'm sure it was scripted too, but it was just, I loved everything about it. I loved how like fucking I know people like that.
Yeah,
who are the the GTLs.
Yeah.
And that's their life. GTL, if you don't know, you live in a box, but it's gym, tan, laundry. Like I know people who that's their life.
Routine, yeah.
And work. They don't say work because it's not cool, but it's work, gym, tan, laundry. Like that's their whole thing. They go to the beach, they go to the gym, they do their thing. Like that's their life. Spray tans, all that shit. Like I knew people like that. So to me, that was real.
Right.
But the one that I love the most, and I don't know, scripted or not now, but I have my love for drag queen, the race, the RuPaul.
The drag race.
I just love it, man. It's funny. It's legit, and I'm all about that.
Yeah.
And like I hope that people understand when I'm saying shit about Caitlyn Jenner, it's because I just feel like that's a bullshit scenario.
Well, you're seeing it more in a saturated.
Because like I'm all about.
Yeah.
I love, I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
And a person, if they didn't like that sort of a thing,
I wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't watch it. If I was like against, like I'm for anybody's right for their choose to do whatever they want for
do what you want. Make you happy. If
I
it's
want
happy,
that to be known that I'm pro everybody's choice.
Yeah. If it makes you happy, who am I going to say? Well, I don't see why that would make anyone happy. I don't think you should do that. No. Fuck
and you know what?
If
Maybe Bruce Caitlyn is legit.
Right.
I just feel like the whole family, the Kardashian Jenner thing, is a whole unknown, and it's all about
ratings
being important.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time believing it.
Right.
But I believe it in everybody else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody has something different.
They have no bearing
Everybody's
on my
different,
life.
and exactly. But it's just them. I'm so sick of them. It's just I just like he was like nobody, and he had to do something to become something.
But remember the other two, the idiot couples, Spencer and the fucking
Heidi.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
Where the fuck are they
They're
now?
gone now because the Kardashians came over.
But that's what I mean. So they all have their time and space. As everyone does. Like, Andy Warhol said, everyone has their 15 minutes of fame.
Absolutely.
Right? For me, I've never subscribed to like, that's what I need to do. This has to be me. I have to have this agenda. I don't give a fuck. As long as I can make people happy and smile at some point of the day, that's good enough for me.
And they're all in it for the money. You think any of them are doing anything fantastic to help people?
No, obviously not. They're going to Hawaii for their 40th birthday right now while we're all locked down, can't do anything.
Okay.
Can't celebrate Halloween.
Okay. They can do it. Whatever. I don't care about that. They have the money to do it, and it's their family bubble. Do it. Yeah. I don't care. And it's in the United States. They're not leaving the country.
It's Hawaii.
It's still the United States. They're not leaving the country. They're staying in their country. As long as they don't come up here and do anything, I'm totally fine with that. Stay Kardashians. Stay the fucking America. Don't come to Canada.
It's just so strange, the whole like Hollywood like machine that you're more recognized than someone who is saving the world.
The Hollywood machine is you have to be relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to.
It's a business. It's a machine.
Although Keanu Reeves,
right,
Canadian,
right,
is not on the whole social media. He rides the subway.
I know.
He doesn't ride in an entourage of 40 people.
Right.
And I've heard stories of him just being happy on set. He's just like, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
loves making films.
Yeah.
And it's just like everybody else, they do. And he donates secretly money to children's hospitals.
Yeah.
I mean, some people found out, so it's no longer a secret.
Right.
But he didn't tell anybody. He didn't he didn't do an Instagram moment.
Yeah.
Here I am donating millions of dollars to this charity. Yeah. He just does it.
It's ridiculous.
And he rides the subway.
I know.
Hey, celebrities, be like Keanu. You see Keanu? Be like Keanu.
And I was talking to someone last night who works in what we do and the show that they're on, and the number one says the name. I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, such a douchebag, making all these over demands, announces when they get to the stage, oh, your favorite person is here right now.
Get out of here.
And I'm like,
after we stop recording this, I need to know who it is.
I would shut that shit down in a fucking
and you
second.
would be escorted off the set.
You think so?
Yeah, man. You're a fucking lug.
But that's the point.
No, that's not the point. You're a lug. They'll get rid of you. Do you think they're going to be like, hey, slow your roll, number one?
Yeah, why not?
Because they're going to be like, who is that guy? Get rid of him. They won't even know your name.
Okay, but
they'd be like, who is that?
But you don't think that...
Goodbye. Immediately.
Even though if you've interacted at this point,
here's the
this
scenario.
is coming in.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Here's a scenario. They make the shows. We make the shows for the help.
Right.
They don't sell the show for you and me.
Right.
They sell the show with number 1 and number 2 to 10, whatever.
Right.
So if you say something to number 1 because they're acting bratty,
right,
they're going to be like, oh, well, you're right. Hey, Tom. Or, hey, set deck. Or, hey, guy.
Yeah.
Number 1, you're right. Number 1's, you're gone, number 1.
Right.
They'd be like, hey, you, dude, tall guy. Get the fuck out of my set. Never come back here again.
So brutal, though. Like, have you not shut it down, though, before? Have you never been in the prison?
I did it once to an actress.
Okay.
Because she was trying to make fun of me, and I was like, no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
but I didn't do it in the way where I was like, "You're nobody, shut your mouth." And I was working on a comedy.
Okay.
And so something happened that the director wanted, and I told the director, I said, "This is not going to work like this because, whatever reason." So there was like a thing that has to, in office they have those metal things that magnets. You change if you move out and you put someone new in, they put a new
the business board, sandwich board or whatever. Yeah.
So he wanted to keep the original silver underneath and just slide the new silver over top. I'm like, well, no, the magnet has to go magnet to magnet. I'm like, that's how it works. He's like, well, can we just try it? I'm like, it might fall. And he's like, let's just try it a couple takes. I'm like, no problem, boss. Like, whatever you want to do.
Of course.
I said, I can try to see what happens.
Yeah.
So it goes and it falls. And one of the actresses, so she's the only girl in the group of like dudes. And she's like, oh, looks like the prop department fucked up again. And I'm like, huh. And it's like, we were working nights. And I was like so in a bad mood.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'll just let it be known that as soon as you fuck up your lines again, I'll make sure I tell all your fellow actors that you fucked up once again. And then I walked away. The other fucking actors fucking howling.
Right.
So she couldn't say anything because it was a funny
Right.
thing. And then she's just like, shut her mouth. And then that was it.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of them, that's what they want, though.
What, they want to razzle? No.
Yeah.
Not from a nobody. And I'm not a somebody.
No.
But not from a nobody to say, hey, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
No,
but if you just heard that randomly, if you heard that, like, say you were at the breakfast line,
sure,
and you didn't know it was your first day, but you know the show,
you're still gone, dude.
And you hear, oh, your favorite person is here. Like, you would not be like,
I would be like, I'd be like, who? And I'd name another actor. I'd be like, holy shit, Denzel Washington's here. And then they'd look around and be like, oh no, it's just you. But you have to have that friendly rapport because you can't just say it as nobody.
I know, but like, why?
Me?
Yeah.
I make friends with some of the actors.
Right.
So if they say something like that, I'd be like, oh, is it so and so? Like, I'll say it as a joke.
Yeah, if they know.
But if you could be like, no, shut up, you're not, don't say that shit.
You? Yeah.
No, you're done, dude. They wouldn't even blink. They would call over one person.
Right.
And you're gone. They wouldn't have to say one word, and you're out of there.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
And you know what? Odds are you'll have a complaint on your little file there at our union. Okay. I know you don't care. Tom, you can never work again, buddy. That's your business. That's up to you. But it's been bad. We're nobodies. We help. Don't get me wrong. Like, we do the work to make stuff happen behind the scenes, but they don't sell that on us. They sell it on the faces and camera.
Of course.
If number one wants to be a little bratty,
be Has anyone ever like ruined a prop? An important prop that you've given them just out of spite? That they wanted you off the show?
No. It's never happened.
Have you ever heard that story?
I've never heard that story.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And if it happens, they won't deliberately say it. It won't be deliberately obvious. It'll just be like, oh, and we know me, one is none. So if they break one, I've got 6 more.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want the prop, and we make a dozen of them, and then they decide on the day they don't want to use it. And we wasted money on a dozen of a thing.
Ugh.
And that's fine too, because you know what? It's not my money. It's no sweat off my back.
Yeah, I know.
The producer would be like, why didn't we see this? I'm like, go talk to number one.
Yeah.
He didn't want it anymore. She or she didn't want it.
Right. And
that's that.
I saw your outfit that you had to wear on Friday. They posted the face shield and the mask.
Oh yeah.
So you're not going with the goggles, or you still got?
You know what? I'm popping through a couple things. I'm trying to find the right thing. Here's the thing: when I wear my goggles, they fog up.
Yeah, of course, the mask. Yeah.
So I've been trying different things. So I tried this new face shield, and it just sits enough down, so it's almost like a horse blinder sort of thing. Okay. So it comes down enough, so it's I call it the salad guard.
Yeah, he's like guard. Yeah.
So I'm in the zone because I'm always constantly forgetting my glasses, and I'm always having to radio Mitchell. I'm like, Mitchell, my fucking glasses.
Yeah.
Because there's cast zones. So if you're not in the cast zone, you can't come in.
Oh, okay.
So and you have to wear your goggles and your mask, which I think again, I get the safety of everything, and I want everybody to be safe, but the goggles are not for. So if there's no cast, it's just you and me here talking. Masks are fine.
Yeah, right.
Everything's completely fine. But as soon as they're casting it, because they can't wear it because they'll have lines on their face. So
of course,
I get it. They're like, oh well, he could spit into your eye. He or she, the actress or actor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, while they're talking by accident. They're not just spitting at you.
Right.
Maybe that one you're talking about. But,
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but he or she, this actor and actress, is getting tested 3 times a week.
Right.
And if it should be my choice if I want to wear the goggles.
Right.
Mask, mandatory. Goggles should 100% be my choice. And I had the APM, the assistant production manager, give me shit one time because I wasn't wearing my goggles. And I was like, oh, shit, whatever. But she gave me like this dirtiest fucking look. I'm like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I wear my mask all the time. So I forgot. First of all, the actors were supposed to be gone when I went in. One sticker was stuck around. That's not my fault.
That's not your fault. Yeah, who's wrangling them out, right?
And she gave me this bitchiest look. And I'm like, and I really don't like her. And I'm like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
I know. Like I fucking bust my ass on this fucking show. I walk in without my glasses. Not like I walked in, face mask off,
Like
no fucking thing. And I'm like yelling at the top of my lungs like.
Yeah, you're not doing it blatantly.
I was like, you're fucking, don't fucking bullshit me.
The superheroes in the AD department.
No, she's not an AD.
Oh, no.
APM, assistant production manager.
Oh.
No, I love all the ADs on my show. But anyway, I find the new, I don't even know what she does. I find my best option. It was what you saw in my picture.
Yeah.
Like my face mask and that shield.
The shield.
Because the shield covers me enough that I can still see and doesn't fog up because like I'm fixing props. So if I'm got my glasses on and they're fogging up, I can't even do my job.
Right. I know.
Here's what bothers me the most about these goggles and the face mask, face shield, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that if as long as I'm on my face, they're okay with it. But they're fucking down here.
Yeah,
and my eyes are exposed. My eyes are exposed no matter what.
You still have
Yeah, but pockets, they're like it's just visuals.
Yeah,
you have it on?
I know,
okay.
I know.
It's like, oh, okay. So I have it on, so I'm exempt. I'm Corona exempt. I'm COVID exempt because they're just on my body. So the spit will come, and they'll see the glasses, and they'll just like, no, and they'll fall down.
Right.
No, man.
I mean, what happens, say, you get a test, because we're doing tests 2-3 times a week.
Yep.
Okay. What happens when one of them
has it?
Tests
they
positive.
Do contact tracing.
But the mean is like you get tested tomorrow, let's say.
Sure.
Okay.
I am getting tomorrow, yeah.
You don't get the results till maybe Wednesday, Thursday.
Something like that. So
what's happened in that time between and from when you were, and also
you're gonna contact trace, man. That's how it is. So if it's regardless, so let's say it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
So whether it's tested on Monday or the Wednesday or the Friday. So if I'm tested any other of those days,
right.
It's if someone does test positive, now they have to maybe stop production, depending on where the person was tested positive. If it was the office, if it was offset, et cetera,
right? Location,
they have to stop. Yeah, they have to hold on. Now let's contact supervisors of that said person and find out tracing around him.
Wow.
So now they have to do this. They start with a small little dot of the let's call it the oh my god the hit point.
Yeah.
So let's where a bomb hit. So the first exposure, and now they have to do circles and circles,
radius,
and the radius of every single part of that. And who have you been with? So they'll now question you. Where were you? Who have you been with? Who were you beside? Where? What? When? To all of those radiuses. And now, say so out of your inner circle, you've now saw someone in your outer radius. So now, who's in that outer radius?
I got my questions too.
And then it's just I would hate to be a person who has to do the tracking.
Yeah.
Because now you've got to make 1 million phone calls. Unless they're like, oh no, I was just here with this person and this person. And then that's it. So now you're like going to that person. And you gotta do their radius.
Yeah, you gotta
and
test
their
them
radius.
and test them.
And now it's 40 people radius, 40 on and on and on and on. I don't know. Well, first of all, I think they just give you another test to make sure it wasn't a mistake.
Yeah.
I think they rushed that one.
Okay.
So it's not a 2-day.
Okay.
Again, this is all assumptions. I don't know anything about the COVID testing. I'm just assuming that
you can't really ask those questions either.
I mean, I think you could. Okay. You can ask. If you have COVID people on your you have a COVID team?
No. Well, we have the medic.
Yeah, but there's got to be someone else. There's someone in the office.
On you?
Yeah, there has to be a COVID team. There must be.
They keep changing hands in our show.
Doesn't matter. There's a COVID team. So you can go to the production office and be like, I want to ask questions to this COVID team because they have protocols. And you just be like, how does this work? And they'll tell you everything. We have like a team of 3 people on our show or 4 people. Yeah. That are COVID team.
And it might change when you go on location or split units. Right?
No, we have depends. I mean, they may just have to add a new one. Yeah. So that's all it is. Wow. It's wild. And the actors have COVID people who just take their PPE.
Oh, okay. So okay.
It's got nothing to do with me or the ADs. It's not our job. They have someone there's 2 people on set who have bins for the actors who take their stuff, put it in, sanitize it, put it in, give it back, and that's their job.
Well, what if you heard from their side of things?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them.
You don't ask them. It's not. No. I mean, like, Jason, do you ask him what it's like?
No. I don't care. I have to fucking do it. What do I care what he's got to go through, man?
I'd love to hear his side of things.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't like it. Nobody likes it just as much as us.
I know.
But everybody's got to keep their circle small.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The money.
It's costing a lot of money. It's $150 a test.
I swear to God, we go to camera tomorrow. Yeah. We are already $3 million over budget.
Yeah,
just from the test. Just from the test.
That's a different budget though. It's a whole.
I know.
Every show's coming in with a new budget based on COVID. There's a COVID budget that has nothing to do. It's not taking away money from your department. Yeah. It's a separate budget.
And I'm sure it gets deducted back, taxes or whatever.
Probably not. Credit. They probably have to pay that one. The government's not going to be like, we're going to give you a tax break on COVID tests.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, the government. Hey, government, I'm still waiting for my fucking tax return.
I know.
All right, let's end the note on the government's so good to us. Yeah, thanks.
That'll be the next episode.
Thanks a lot, Trudeau.
Let's challenge the government in the next episode.
Anyway, let's do a recap.
Okay.
We basically talked comedy the entire episode.
Movies.
We talked movies, we talked shows, we talked COVID and Halloween. And Halloween month's over, so you know what's next? It's now Christmas months. Yeah. Now I'll end the show with Merry Christmas to all and to all good night. To every single show we do now till
Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss your ass, kiss his ass. Happy Hanukkah.
All right. You can find us on our social media pages at Grunts and Grumbles Official is our Instagram and our Facebook. Grunts and Grumbles Podcast is our YouTube channel.
Right here.
GruntsandGrumbles.com is our website. Yep. And I'm at Zomvini.
I'm a TG Wheelman.
Everybody take care.
And you have a good one, and we will see you on the next one.